Thank you for staying with us. Former President of the Senate, Pius Anyim, alongside PDP gubernatorial candidate in the 2023 general election, Senator Obinna Ogba, and other former gubernatorial candidates of opposition parties in Ebonyi have defected to the All Progressives Congress. According to Ayim, the defection was not just about him, but the people, the Ebonyi people, as consultations were widely made before a final resolution was reached. He further made his intentions known to collaborate with all federal appointees from the state, especially the Minister of Works, Umahi, to support President Tinubu's life uplifting policies to Ebonyi people. He urged Nigerians to rally behind President Bola Tinubu as he steers the ship of the nation to peace and prosperity. But joining us via Zoom from Enugu is a PR consultant, Dr. Ambrose Igboke. Ambrose, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on the show. Nice to see you again. Same
here. Now, this defection of Pius Anyim has been generating reactions. And one of the reactions is what I want to quickly speak about, which came from Honorable Benjamin Kalu, as the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives. He said that this is a move or a step in the right direction for the future of the Southeast and our nation. I wonder if that's how you perceive this move.
No, that is not how I perceive it at all. Politicians, are not, driven by ideology in Nigeria. Politicians in Nigeria are just driven by an elitist, what I would call elitist stomach infrastructure, where they have personal gains is actually where their sense of direction.
You're saying
that it's unfortunate.
This has no significance for the Southeast?
No, it has none, because Southeast is trying to go to the mainstream politics of national politics. When they were in the mainstream for 16 years, they were in the mainstream. In fact, for 20 years, they were in the mainstream. PDP from 1999 up to like 2020. A lot of them have been in the mainstream. What development did they get for the Southeast? So apart from personal gains that the politicians get, there's nothing basically that the Southeast can come for the mainstream. Even the PDP that was the Southeast was so loyal to, even when the chiefs came down in the last gubernatorial general election, the presidential election, where the Southeast was supposed to clinch the ticket for the presidential ticket, the Southeast was denied by the PDP from getting the presidential ticket. So basically, Southeast has nothing to show for loyalty to mainstream politics in Nigeria since the Fourth Republic. So this one again, that are trying to go into mainstream again, is just the same futile business. And who told the Southeast that there must be a mainstream politics for the Southeast to grow? All they need is that the 5 governors of the Southeast speak with one voice, devoid of political partisanship, that if they can put that as priority, the development of the Southeast first, then you don't even need to jump from one political party to the other. You focus. Now, saying that the PDP generally has disappointed Nigerians, they couldn't even play opposition politics for long. Let's take the example of Alliance for Democracy that came up in between 1999. We saw what happened in the Southwest when Southwest was swept by PDP, 5 of the states, except one, Lagos, when Asiwaju Bola Tinubu was governor in Lagos. Gradually, they reclaimed those things when they were now changed to Action Congress, and later with some measures, Action Congress of Nigeria, ACN. We could see opposition politics at play and how it was able to play. The Southwest was able to play opposition politics. At the same time, were able to immerse themselves in national mainstream politics. That is how to play politics. While you are maintaining your opposition status, you also try to ensure that people from your zone are inside the mainstream politics. It doesn't mean that you should abandon your political party or structures in the embrace for a new one. I think the Southeast politicians should go learn some tricks from the Southwest politicians and how they did it, how they managed to remain in opposition, yet they were in the mainstream. When Obasanjo was president in the mainstream, The Southwest was basically playing the opposition. They were in an ACN, they were in an AD. And so, and it doesn't mean that you must be in the mainstream political party for you to play national politics. We saw the examples of people at the ANPPs of this world, where was APP when the Fourth Republic started. We saw the AD. We saw how APP had like 9 states in the north, and how AD had like 6 states in the southwest. Mm-hmm. Then, sometime later, PDP had the whole of the southeast. But APGA, reared its head like what would have been a regional political party. But again, today it's just one governor, that is APGA. Even the governor is APGA in physical, but is not APGA in spirit. So these are the things that count against the Southeast every time. Now we are all rushing. They are all rushing to go to APC because APC is government in the mainstream in the national politics. If another party goes now, they will move again. That is not how principles of politics are played.
Okay, so what you are saying is that this defection is not in the interest of the people of the Southeast region.
Politics in the mainstream, when you look at it in the mainstream politics, trying to belong to the mainstream politics, the Southeast will gain something from. But when you look at what the Southeast has gained in joining APC over the years, what have they gained? Apart from the senator, for example, Senator, who is the minister now, joined the South APC, and he was able to get a ministerial slot. The same thing with some other people. The humanitarian candidates for Enugu was able to also get a ministerial slot. What else? Apart from employing aides and all those things, what critical thing, what intervention has Dave Umahi done, for example, since he was governor, he was minister? These are the things we are talking about.
Perhaps, Ambrose, we need to understand what we mean by political gains for the Southeast so that we better situate things. You have mentioned the former governor Dave Umahi being a minister, and you mentioned a number of persons. What really is this matter we are talking about? Because we've heard the Southeast speak about marginalization over the years, and we keep asking, what really is this marginalization? Can we narrow it down to something? What really is the political gains the Southeast is looking for?
Yeah, the political gains we are looking for, the democratic dividends for the Southeast. 1, infrastructure development. The Southeast has been marginalized when it comes to infrastructure, the share of infrastructure development. Let me give you a concrete example. While we were designing the new rail lines and all those things, we had a rail line all the way from the north to Maradi in Niger. We had all the gods moving from different places of the country. But when it came, there was no line, there was no rail line at all in the new rail system that was given to the Southeast. We come again. The Lokoweto Bridge, which is across the River Benue, from Abuja, from Nasarawa to the River Benue, was free of charge, was built by federal government money. But when one came to building the second Niger Bridge from Asaba across the other side to Anambra State, it's now being done with PPP, and the Southeasterners will have to pay toll for it. And these are the imbalances we are talking about. So we will need democratic leader that the other infrastructure policies that are being given to other sections of the country, the Southeast should get it too. So that is what we call the dividends of democracy. That is what the Southeast is calling about marginalization. Then in appointments, many of the appointments that have been taking place, we are supposed to run this country appointment with competence. And we are talking about when the Southeasterner is, a lot of examples are found when the Southeasterner will qualify, but the person is removed because he's from the Southeast. And when you check out the quality of, apart from this Tinubu administration that perhaps have given a Southeasterner the service chief, what have we got in the security architecture in the 8 years of Buhari's administration? So what we are now saying, when we talk of marginalization, it's not by political appointment. We are talking about regional development. We are talking about infrastructural development. We are talking about giving what the South is, what other parts of the state are. For example, South is still 5 states. It's still the only region in Nigeria that has 5 states. Others have a minimum of 6. Northwest has 7. And so these are the imbalances we are talking about. So we'll talk about
but how has the Southeast itself, how has the Southeast itself, because there are governors, there are leaders, there are representatives of the people at the National Assembly from the Southeast, how have they positioned themselves to demand for what they are saying, like you have rightly pointed out, to demand for these things. That is why they are there, isn't that?
Yeah, that's why they are there. And that's why I say most of the time, the politicians play what you call elite stomach infrastructure. Because it doesn't matter the political party you belong, as I said earlier. It matters the interest of your people. If the politicians out there in the National Assembly and that represent the interests of the South have the interest of the Southeast as priority, they don't need to change political parties. They can come together despite the different political parties they belong and build the Southeast. For example, why there have been rail line within the Southeast? For example, why not all the roads leading to the various parts of the Southeast are not connected? Most of them are dilapidated and the rest. Why have there not been conscious efforts to integrate logistics movements within the Southeast? And these are the things I said the Southeasterners can do of their own without even having recourse to. All they need is some kind of licensing waiver policy statement from the federal government. They can commit resources to do that, but we are not seeing that anywhere. Everybody is just on their own.
So it behoves on the people now to put pressure on their governors.
Of course, I'm not changing political party. Like Ayim that I changed political party is a beneficiary of PDP. He has been Senate president. He has been secretary to the federal government. He has gained a lot from the PDP. And all of a sudden, you just change and you think that because you become an APC member, the Southeast is not liberated. The Southeast is not liberated because the same politics that will help them in PDP is the same politics that we still hold them, whatever political party that they are going to. So what the Southeast should do is learn from the Southwest. Make sure all our people are in different political parties and hold strong positions there. That is how to play this politics, this national politics. When you go to different political parties, you find the Yoruba man in almost having all of them. I was telling a friend that in the last general election, the Yoruba man was basically the publicity secretary for all the four frontline political parties. That is how to play politics. You don't just put all your head. Now everybody is migrating in the Southeast to APC. Then abandon it. That is not how to play politics. You can stay where you are and play a national council so far you have a cohesive interest. And that cohesive interest is when you go to discuss in Federal Executive Council, is when we go to discuss with the president, is what you tell your senators and House of Reps to discuss at the National Assembly and move motion, despite the differences in political affiliations.
So what would now be the hopes for the People's Democratic Party, which at a point was usually respected as a big opposition, so to speak? We had the ex-Senate president saying we have resolved to collapse the whole of Ebonyi state into one political family, and that political family is the All Progressives Congress. The state is having the local government election coming on the 20th of July. So what is the place of having different ideologies, different political parties as expected in a democracy?
That's the problem the Southeast have been having, always trying to be one single entity. And that has been the bane of our political party, because we don't even have an opposition voice. When you collapse all the entity, imagine someone like Pius Anyim, who have become the president of PDP, talking like this. Therefore, the governor or whoever the political parties are in APC, in Ebonyi State, will not have any opposition voice. And it's very, very disheartening that the PDP has not been able to play opposition politics. They're just 8 years away, 9 years now away from power. They're already disintegrated. These are people that had power between 1999 to 2015, and they're already disintegrated. So they are not giving us the viable the opposition we need. Remember the term of opposition of the ACN. And they gave viable opposition in the Southwest. The ANPP gave viable opposition in the North. And the CPC later took over from the ANPP and played viable opposition. And they collapsed together, collapsed themselves together to form a new party. Nobody collapses on structure to join the PDP or the mainstream. That is how to play opposition politics. But the PDP has disappointed Nigerians in that. They could not be able to hold it for just 8 years. And they are all disintegrated. Looking for, that's what I call stomach infrastructure. And this is not good for our democracy. There should be viable opposition to be able to checkmate what the mainstream political party is doing. Unfortunately, it is absent.
Well, you have mentioned that the Southeast has not really gained anything, when it joined, or has nothing to show whenever it joins mainstream politics or parties, so to speak. And I'm wondering, if you think this cannot be different at this point, because there are those who say that perhaps Pius Anyim has some political value that he might be putting forward to the APC for the party to perhaps turn in the direction of the Southeast.
Well, it's not by cross-carpeting to another political party that will make the Southeast embrace the APC. The APC itself should do justice to its own mantra. First of all, the APC, we are supposed, when you have your own people, you have your own stronghold, you just maintain that stronghold and let it grow. But when you have opposition, you are supposed to now go into that area where you have opposition and try to, woo them. You try to persuade them. And that is how democracy is done. Not by marginalizing them, or like what the former President Buhari said, that how can you do 95% and all those kind of things. Or even this present government saying it loud and clear in its actions that because you didn't vote for me, I will not do I will marginalize you. These are the things we are talking. You don't need to do that. You are supposed to actually try more to woo those who didn't vote for you, so that in the next election there would have been, you have confirmed your love for them. They would have been convinced that you care for them. And that is the only way they can genuinely, become part of your political structure. But it's not by bullying them. It's not by marginalizing them. It's not by telling them.
When you say bullying, you need to expatiate, because there are those who are watching and may not understand what you mean by perhaps this administration bullying these persons to become part of their structure.
Well, the bully is the bully can be in various ways. One of the bullies I've seen, first of all, is that till now, 1 year later, the marginalization done to the injustice done to the Southeast, the railway, has not been corrected. We are still pushing on with the PPP. I want to hinge on those two examples I've given before: the PPP arrangement for the second Niger bridge, and then there are subtle body language that suggests that you cannot talk, and when you talk, and then you
these
cannot.
There are subtle also
the issue of appointments as there for them to. Well, I'm a Southeasterner. I live in the Southeast, and I see what is being done to me and my people. So the assumptions can be placed on premises, and these are the premises I'm placing on these things. And anybody who can refute it can come with refutation. But these are the refutals. These are also things that are grounded, and that you can also go and make your own inquiries. How many appointments do the Southeast people have? What have this administration or the 8 years the APC government done for the Southeast? And they keep on telling you, oh, they didn't vote for us. Is that how democracy is run? Is democracy about petty politics? Is democracy about giveaways only for those who do things, who voted for you? Democracy is an inclusion. When you migrate from party, once you become you migrate from presidential candidate of the party and you become the president of the Federal Republic, every part of the Federal Republic ought to be treated with utmost respect. We have to be treated with utmost inclusivity. And that is what it means to be in a democracy.
And one will say that this defection was probably expected because this set of individuals had paid a visit to the president late last year to, show support for his administration. And so it's likely that you may have seen this coming. But having a representative from the Southeast region, is it not a win for the region?
Well, I remember in one of the articles I read about the defection, I heard the national chairman of the APC saying that they want to thank the former Senate President for the role he played in the last general elections. That is an indicting statement. So that means we're in another political party and we are supporting the APC, we are playing a role for the APC. These are not how politics are played. Men of integrity, men that have ideologies that believe in their party should not be doing those kind of things. So what he said that he played, so that means the man was supporting another party while he was in another party. Is that how we run this democracy here? So that means we are not even sure what we are doing as a people. When you go to when you talk about voices, we already have people in the APC. In the political party from the Southeast. Like in my own place, there was a strong candidate for the Federal House of Representatives. We have APC. So when people say we don't have APC just because the governors, because the governor of a state is not APC, it is not true. We have APC even to the ward level in my village. There are APC members in my village. There are ward members. So I don't know what people mean by there's no APC in the Southeast. Those are just statements that are used as excuses to, to continue the marginalization. When you come to Enugu State, for example, and go to every other state in the Southeast, up to the ward level, there are APC people there that are fighting for the party and doing all kinds of things for the party to make sure the party grows. They are not receiving encouragement from anybody. They are not receiving encouragement from the center. All they get is, oh, your state is not APC, you are going to get this. And that is not how to play politics. It will rather discourage those people from working and even stop people from embracing the party. So the party should be more open and stop all this petty politics. The petty politics is too much, even at the national level. There have been 1 or 2 appointments that was done. Let me give you a typical example. A woman that was nominated as the deputy governor of CBN, just because of a tweet that she made during the eve of on the day of the election, that Labour Party won her ward. Her name was, she was replaced immediately. If we want national development and serious economic growth, we should not be talking. In fact, we shouldn't tell people who are political. We should tell people.
Are you certain that is the reason why she was removed? Are you certain? Do you have evidence to back that up? Because we cannot just make blanket statements without backing them up with evidence. This is a national television, and we have to be careful statements we make.
Let me tell you the reason. Let me tell you, because the federal government today have not advanced any other reason. She was nominated. The next thing,
then we cannot assume. Did we ask questions and no answers were given?
As journalists, we make inferentials. We make inferentials from statements, from development, from politics, and as an analyst, I'm entitled
to my opinion. Did we ask questions? That's what I'm asking you. Did we ask questions and no answer was given? Did she ask questions?
Today, well, today, I've not heard in Ghana journal or any of the states, by or Nomuga, any of the statements that has countered that premise. So they have to counter the premise and give us reason why the woman was dropped. Because from now, the only reason we see and allude to is that fact.
And I'm asking you, do you know if she asked questions and nobody gave her answers?
Am I happy? Am I supposed to know whether she
No, because you are speaking and you are making assumptions.
We are making assertions of what is in the public. And today, the spokesmen of the president have not come to debunk that. Unless you are speaking on behalf of them now.
I'm asking you a question. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do as a journalist. Because we have people who are listening to us.
I've told you where the facts are premised. The facts are premised on the tweets surfaced. Immediately the tweets surfaced and it went viral for some 24 hours. Her name was withdrawn. As a journalist, what inferences do you want me to make?
We are expected to, probe and ask questions. That's the essence as journalists. But let's get back to what we are focusing on now, which is what is the way forward, really, when we're talking about our democracy as a country, how we can make it as vibrant as possible, because we'll be talking about defections, these people moving from the PDP to the APC, and there are those who move from Labour Party even to the APC as it is. But then in a democracy, it's important that we have oppositions as it is, so that our democracy can grow. Because we often say that our democracy is nascent. What can these opposition parties begin to do to ensure the vibrancy that is needed for a democracy to thrive?
Well, our democracy is not nascent. Our democracy is 65 years old. It's 64 years old this year, by 1st October. It's just that in between we are having a interregnum of the military junta. But the Fourth Republic, maybe nascent, is 25 years old. But our democracy is 64 years old. So we have not learned a lot of lessons. Going forward, I think we should find a way to insert in our constitution, though it is a very formal part of a parliamentary system, where you have official opposition party, as we had in the 1960 to 1966. I think we have to find a way in this democracy. We shouldn't copy, we should have a little bit of tinkering. We can borrow some things from the parliamentary system and put it in the presidential system to see whether we can have official opposition party. That is what is obtainable in most democracies in Europe, where you have official opposition party. People actually vie to be official opposition party. In that way, the opposition party, first of all, is the party that keeps the ruling party in check. First. At that level, before even, other people will come to hold them accountable, before the press, before everybody. So if we have that opposition as a social party, as part of our democratic system, I think it will go a long way to help us. But this issue of this cross-carpeting and, having party of convenience, fair weather party, it was only practiced for some time through the AD, ACN, and CPC, ANPP. And when those coalition won the government through the APC, the opposition virtually died. I think so we should resuscitate that to have a viable opposition party. And if it means to insert it in the Constitution, the framers of the Constitution, while the amendment is going on, should try to see how we can tickle with that and then put it in. In that way, we can have some viable opposition to the ruling party, any ruling party that may come up in future.
And, we cannot just push the blame to the doorstep of the All Progressives Congress, especially in this case. I mean, it's expected for everyone to work for the good of their party. And if another party is not doing as much, then we cannot totally put the blame on the other party. So let's talk about the People's Democratic Party and how much of, will I call it separation of disunity that you are also aware of, that they have been facing in recent times, and how they can address it even at the national level, not just in Ebonyi State, but also in other states. If you see their figures, even in the last election, you will know that the difference is very clear.
The PDP threw away the chances they had, a lot of the chances they had. The PDP, as you know, was a very formidable party. I mean, the PDP was the giants in the house. I mean, from 1999, they ruled this country. The whole of the Southeast was, PDP. A lot of the North Central, a lot of the South, they had a formidable, it was only the Southwest they couldn't penetrate. But after, the second time, from 2003, they penetrated and they almost won all the states except Lagos. But again, the opposition collected it back somehow from them through the courts and through some other processes. And by 2011, it was, it was all given again back to the opposition.
Right.
The PDP, I think, became too comfortable. They became too comfortable. That's what happened to them.
Right.
I remember one of the leaders of PDP saying that they will rule for 60 years and the rest. So they didn't put any structure on ground. They didn't know they were going to lose the election in 2015. And I think they should come back together, rearrange their house so that they can form that opposition that Nigerians are actually looking out for. But cross-carpeting will not do anything for our democratic process.
And that's a fine place to leave the conversation this morning. PR consultant, public affairs analyst, Dr. Ambrose Igboke. Thank you for your time on the program.
It's always a pleasure to be on the show.
Absolutely.